Hello class, welcome to my self-reflection using digital storytelling. I would like to start off with how I successfully achieved meeting the course outcomes for this course. The first course outcome was to evaluate the role of the nurse educator in planning and teaching, learning, assessment, and collaboration on education and interprofessional teams. I discussed the mission and philosophy statements, their roles in nursing programs, and their effect on educational and healthcare organizations. Nurse educators create, adjust, and use these statements to plan for successful education. I discussed innovative competency-based staff development and educational programs I attended and/or developed. The continuing integration of professional educational practices into nursing education has probably resulted in my experiencing this change to the competency-based model. These ideas ultimately affect the role of the nurse educator. The second of these course outcomes was to integrate standards for nursing education, program outcomes, competency requirements, learning activities, and evaluation strategies in curriculum design. I discussed 21st century nursing education and practice recommendations or competencies that have impacted nursing curricula. I discussed theories or paradigms as a basis support and how I might use it for nursing program and curriculum development. I also discussed ACEN's use of standard-based curriculum evaluation and how I would design a curriculum to reflect these standards. The third of these course learning outcomes was to synthesize evidence, education theories and concepts, and educational technologies and curriculum design. I analyzed a familiar curriculum based on the Tylerian model. Then I identified the factors that are most responsible for the continuation of content-laden curriculum. I also identified the barriers for reforming the curriculum and offered strategies for overcoming those barriers. I designed a course syllabus where one could use program outcomes to identify course outcomes. I also incorporated Bloom's taxonomy into the outcomes of this design. I discussed and incorporated innovative educational technologies into a curriculum design. In the discussion, I explained how these technologies supported achievement of the learning outcomes. And finally, the fourth of these learning course outcomes, I designed a course that includes the best practices in course design. We did this through course syllabus development, designing an entire course curriculum, and designing also a unit of instruction for an instructional design project. Before this course, I thought I knew how to plan for teaching. It seemed that a simple outline might be sufficient. However, now that we've explored the possibilities of curriculum development, including designing it with technology in mind, I feel that I did not know so much. I have learned so much about how to go about teaching subject matter. Everything does not need to be classroom lecture-wise. We can use innovative methods of teaching, which I have found to be so useful in creating interest in the subjects. This course definitely transformed my thinking and transformed how I might be an educator or a nurse educator. Now I see how program outcomes must be aligned with course outcomes and that learning activities line up with this whole process. It seems more of a linear process to me now. One step at a time, if done properly, can lead to a successful educational experience. Syllabus development, curriculum design, program, and course outcomes are all essential components in creating success for the learners. It is up to us as educators to create this environment. I thoroughly enjoyed this class and was pleased with each model that we learned. It's sometimes hard to believe how much we accomplished in such a small time. I wish you all the best in your future endeavors. This course has affected my role as a competent nurse educator in that sense. Everything that I've mentioned here that I've learned in this course, I'll be taking forward into my educational practice. Planning, teaching, learning, assessment, collaboration, and evaluation are all important aspects of being a great educator.